Keller. Frank. Barb.
Jose Maria.
Dan.
How's everybody doing today? My name is Daniel Woke, and I'd like to talk to you about the poultry slaughterhouses. When you take a bite of a piece of chicken, do you really know what you're eating or where it comes from? People say ignorance is bliss, but I say knowledge is power. As a matter of fact, most people don't even know what they eat or where it comes from, and if it's humane or sanitary or how it's processed. I've always strived to eat healthy and learn where my food comes from. I started by reading a book called Eating Animals. And what I learned opened my eyes on American slaughterhouses. People even turned vegetarian or vegan after reading this book. We all go to supermarkets and learn and buy chicken and eggs to eat. But as consumers, we should know what we're paying for, what we're eating, and if the process is humane and sanitary. I would like to take everybody on a visual tour on the poultry industry and how they conduct their business. Before I begin, I'd like to say that these scientists genetically enhance these chickens for our human consumption. The scientists genetically enhance these chickens to enhance their growth rate and speed to make them faster and grow bigger. The first stop I'll take you on is to the poultry hatcheries, and then the poultry farms, and then finally the slaughterhouses. Let's begin our tour. I suggest you keep your arms, legs, and vehicles at all times. So after the baby chicks are hatched, they are put on this conveyor belt to separate from the eggs, and they also do it to size and sex the males and females. Now some of the baby chicks fall off this conveyor belt and they're left there to die. The males are considered invaluable to the industry because they cannot lay eggs and they grow at such a low rate. They send them to this conveyor belt to a grinder to die alive. Another method is workers put these baby chicks in a bin where they're left in there to die, and then they get piled on top of each other and suffocate to death. For the egg-laying chicks, they get put to this machine where their beaks get melted off. Another process is a worker grinds their beak down. The industry does this because when they get to the farms, they get to the cages and they peck at each other, and they don't like that. We are now riding, after all this process is done, they put them on a truck and they get sent to the farms. So now we're on the truck and we're riding to the poultry farms. There are two types of poultry farms. There's the egg-laying farms and the poultry farms for human consumption. The average size of these farms buildings are about 3 football fields in length, and there's about 4 or 5 buildings in each farmland. For the egg-laying farms, these chickens are in this crate their whole life. Their feet grow deformed and out of place, sitting on the metal cages. Now, they live their whole life in a standing room of the size of a sheet of paper. When they can no longer produce eggs, they are then sent to the slaughterhouse to die. Now, for the poultry farms that for human consumption, they fit as many chickens in these big buildings as possible, roughly around 3,000. They keep the building dark, and there is little to no circulation or ventilation in this room. Since these chickens are genetically enhanced, they have no immune system, so the farmers have to pump them up with antibiotics and vitamins. There's controversy over the safety of this for human consumption, but no studies have been proven it. These chickens grow at such a fast rate that their underdeveloped muscles cannot sustain their weight, so they can only take a few steps at a time, and then they grow tired and out of breath. After 6 weeks, they are fully grown and ready to go to the slaughterhouse. Workers come in at night and grow about 4 or 5 chickens at a time and load them in cages onto a truck. There have been reports to say that workers hear and feel their bones break after they grab them and throw them in the cages. I know this isn't the happiest story, but there's only one more stop left. When the chickens go to the slaughterhouse, they're hung upside down on this conveyor belt. The first stop they go to is a big blade comes and cuts off their necks, and so they can bleed out to death. Now this process is not 100% fatal, so there's still chickens alive to continue down the line after this step. The second step is a hot water boiling area where the chickens are sent there so it'd be easier to remove their feathers. Like I said, there's still live chickens at this time that go on through this process. There have also been reports where workers are inhumane and cruel and they perform bad acts to these chickens while they're still alive and in the process. This is the short life of a chicken. The poultry industry feels this is necessary and acceptable because they gain the most amount of profits out of this business. So now I've taken you through the virtual tour. I showed you the poultry hatcheries, then the farms, and then the slaughterhouses. I still eat chicken to this day, but I try to learn and find out where my chicken comes from before I buy it. Like I said in the beginning, knowledge is power. If everybody learned what you learned today, maybe this process can be more humane and the chickens can live and die in dignity. If you still like to eat chicken, there are alternatives to other routes. You can buy free-range chicken or organic. They're labeled in the grocery stores and they have very strict laws to go by. There are also local vendors all over the United States that you can use, and they are more humane and treat their chickens in a better way. The research is time-consuming, but at least you know where your food comes from. If you'd like to know more information about this subject, you can always use the internet and search in poultry industries. You can look at websites, pictures, and they also have videos on all this process. I found a few interesting sites, and I watched a movie called Fast Food Nation, which had a lot of good information. And like I said, the book Eating Animals by Jonathan Safran Foer is another good read. Thank you for your time.